Hi and welcome to my channel, Teresa's Crafty Cabana. Today I'm doing a review video and I'm going to be using this Qfun Laminator. Now the Laminator company did reach out to me and they asked if I would make a video showcasing their laminator on my channel. So that is what my video is going to be today, but I also wanted to test out this laminator because I've actually been looking for a laminator and I had yet to find one. I had an old one and it just didn't work. I couldn't get the laminator sheets to adhere, so and they were all crooked. So I was really curious to see how well this laminator would work. It does come with some laminating sheets in the box, and it's packaged nicely. It's got these styrofoam pieces on the edges so it's not moving around. And then it has the cord attached, and it actually looks quite nice. It kind of reminds me of my HP printer in the shape of it with the rounded edges. So it will definitely fit into my craft space nicely. And I like the color. It's white and gray, and it just has a neutral coloring to it, so I like that. And this size is quite reasonable. It's not huge, and I think the one I had previously was very large. Now there's this little place on the top that stores some supplies that it comes with. So you have a paper cutter here, and it's not a huge one, but you can cut your laminated sheets. For example, if you're making bookmarks or something, you can cut them down, or you can cut your paper before you put it into your laminating sheets. And then you've got this little hole punch in this baggie, and it looks like it has an extra little blade for your paper cutter. And that's what that is. So there's an extra blade here. And then the hole punch, this one has a little casing on the bottom of it to catch your holes, and it's just got a single hole, but it's really cute little design. It looks like it'll work nicely. And then this one is going to be a corner rounder. And I'm taking them all out of the packaging because I don't want the heat from the machine to melt any of these packages. So I will test all of these out later in the video. So be sure to stick around to see how these work. And this little corner rounder has just nice little fine corners to them. And then these are little clips that come with it. They're like binder rings. And there's 3 different sizes in here. So these are nice if you're making tags or some kind of a little mini book. You can use these to hold them together. Maybe some recipe cards, something like that. These are great. I love using these. And I love that it has a nice little storage compartment for each one of these, so you don't have to wonder where your tool is. It stays right on the top here. Now I will say everything has to go in perfectly the way that you found it, or else it won't fit. So I thought this little piece went in that little square because it matched, but I realized it had to go back exactly how I found it, and you have to squish the hole punch in there, and then on the paper cutter that little slicer part goes in that little square, and then it closes nicely, nice and flat here. So looking at the back side of it, there is this ABS release, so if you get something stuck you can release it. And then looking at the top of the machine, you have the on-off button, you've got cold 3mm, 5mm, and then you have just some information over the top, basically saying that it's hot, and you probably don't want to put anything on it when it's in use. There is an instruction manual, and it tells you how to put your papers in the right way with your laminator sheets. And next we have the sizes of these laminator sheets it comes with. I roughly measured 17 by 13 for the large one, 12 by 8.75 for the middle size or the next size down. And then the next size down after that was about a 9 by 6.5. And then the smallest one was 6.5 by 4.5 inches. Let's start on our first project, which is going to be preserving a Gelli print. And that's a great way to use a laminator. So I'm starting with this print made with alcohol inks, and I wanted to try this paper cutter. Well, I guess it's just a cutter, but it could cut the lamination sheets or the paper. So I put it in and I slided it down and nothing happened. So I was a little confused at first. There was definitely a blade in there. So I pushed on it and I realized it had a little bit of a spring to it. So I put it back down and I pushed down on the blade and then it cut through. So just a heads up, it's a safety thing so that you don't slice your finger. The blade is retracted until you press down on it. So that's actually a really good thing. So I just cut down this print until I had it where it would fit inside and still have about a quarter, maybe an eighth of an inch to a quarter border all around. And you want to make sure whatever you're laminating is just slightly smaller than the laminating sheets. Now I did use this corner rounder before I laminated it, and you just stick it in. It's very quick. So you just stick it in and press, and you literally just tuck that corner right in, and it just works really quick and easy. And I love that it got the little finger thing so your finger doesn't slide on it. And the corners are nice petite corners. The corner rounders I have are a little bit wider than that, so I like this one. Now, looking at the front of the machine, you have these different sizes that tell you where to line up your laminating sheets. These laminating sheets are connected at the center and you open it up. Now I did notice there was a little logo on one side, so I flipped it over so that my Gelli print did not have the logo on the front. Although I will say that after I ended up laminating this sheet, I did not see that logo show up on the back, so it does disappear. So once I have it lined up, I made sure I used the side that had the crease, and I had it on the 3mm heat setting. And I just tucked it in. It has a really smooth grab and it just pulls it through, and it did not take long to laminate. Now I didn't time it the first time around because I was just trying to see how it worked out, and I think it worked out great. The colors were really vibrant, it was sturdy, it was smooth, and I thought that this worked really great. It wasn't warped and crinkling like my other laminator, and I liked that these sheets have rounded corners on them. So the next project is going to be to laminate a photo. On my photo, I used the corner rounder again to round off my corners. And I'm using the 6.5 by 4.5 sleeve. This time I counted how long it took to laminate this piece that was a photo size. It took about 20 seconds from the time it grabbed until the time it stopped moving on the other side, which is really quick, I think. Especially I've had my other laminator that has been really slow. It takes a long time to get a project done. So that was really great, and it's not super hot when I take it out. Like, it doesn't hurt my hands or anything. So again, the photo turned out great. I think that looks really nice. And the next project is going to be to reinforce some rice paper. This is a Gelli print that I had made, and it's a bigger Gelli print. Rice paper comes in a roll, and so I was able to get a larger size, and I had made this on my larger gel plate. So I corner rounded these corners again because I wanted to see if it would work on this rice paper, which is a little bit of it's a very flimsy paper, and I really wanted to see if I could make this a little bit stronger so that I could maintain this print because I didn't want to ruin it. So I went ahead and stuck that one in. Now it does take longer because this one is bigger than the other size, but it is still fast. As you can see, it's grabbing it and it's moving along quite quickly. And the trick for me was to see if this longer one was going to warp at all. I laid it down on my surface to let it cool so it was flat, and once it was cool to the touch, it was really nice and flat. and you can see it's got a lot more durability to it, and I'm not going to ruin it this way. So I thought this was great, and it would preserve this Gelli print. So I think that one worked great, and it also made those colors pop. They look nice and vibrant, and you can still see I have a little bit of gold in there, and the gold still does show through. For the next project, it's going to be to laminate a business card. Now this machine didn't come with this small size, but I had these that I have had for a long time. I think I just grabbed them on sale thinking I would use them in my laminator that I had previous, but I never did. So they are business card size. They measure about 2 3/8 inches by 3 3/4 inch. And I had been working on these business card prototypes for a couple of other projects that I'm working on for a friend. So I thought I'd try laminating one of them just to see what it would look like. And I'm just putting this one in the center. It is rather small, and I was a little bit worried that maybe because it's so small it was going to get lost inside the machine, but it didn't. It came right out the back and it sealed it up perfectly. So this is just great that it worked on a different size, a different brand of laminating sheet. So just to show you, you don't have to use the one it comes with. Next, I'm going to be making a clear glitter bookmark. So I have, again, one of these small ones that I'm using, and I pulled out some glitter, and these are some little ice cream and popsicles that I had made with some Gelli prints, again with alcohol inks. I used a die cut to cut them out and glue them together. And then I took this purple glitter that almost looks like confetti, and I sprinkled that in the clear areas and a little bit over the popsicles and the ice cream. You could really use any glitter, but I thought this one was fun because it did look like sprinkles. The laminator sheet did act like a little magnet to this glitter, and so it didn't get all over the place, and it kind of stayed tucked inside the little laminating sheet. Then I just closed it up, and I made sure my die cuts were not overlapping because I want it to be as flat as possible. And that came out beautifully, and you can see all the little glitter shines really nice, and it shines over the popsicles and the ice cream, and I thought that this was so cute that I wanted to turn this into a little bookmark. So I thought this would be a great time to try out this little hole punch that it comes with. I took the backing of it off so that I can see what I'm punching. I didn't want to punch over one of my die cuts, so that way I was able to see right where it would go, and I pressed all the way through and it punched no problem. I used some twine to make the little top part of the bookmark, the little tassel. And I think that looks so cute, and that's going to be a perfect little bookmark. And I like that it's see-through because you can kind of see the words too on your book. So our next project is going to be a fun one. This is hot foil over toner paper. I've had this toner paper for a long time. Again, I got it on sale. Didn't know what I was going to use it for. This is by Heidi Swap, and it's supposed to be used in a mink. And they're just these different size sheets of toner paper. So I had cut down my gold foil. This has to be the heat set foil, not to be confused with the glue foil, the two-way glue foil. So I put that over my little toner sheet, and I just folded a piece of copy paper in half, and I'm just sticking this in the laminator. So this is not using any laminator sheet. And this is what a mink foil is. It basically is a laminator, and I don't have one, so I've been holding onto these sheets hoping I would get a capable laminator one day. And I wasn't sure if it would pull the entire gold away, so you can see there are some spots that it missed, but I was quite happy with this. I mean, this is doable for me because I kind of like the imperfections, and you can see me in like a mirror here. But I thought this worked out great, and I have no complaints with this. I even wanted to try die cutting it, so I cut a heart out of this nice shiny gold, and you can totally layer some die cuts on the top. You can put this on a card, put this on a background. I thought that looked really great. And then I thought I'd try a couple more die cuts just to see what it looks like. And this one is a little flamingo. So we've got a nice little golden flamingo, which looks perfect. And then I thought I'd try some nice thin words. I like having gold words for my cards. So I thought this might be a good way to have some punched words. And these did turn out really nice with the gold. It's very shiny. And I think that's going to pop right off of a project that I put this on for a little card. So I like how that worked out, and I'm really super excited to be able to use those toner sheets finally. And I love the bookmark and being able to kind of laminate some glitter and keep some clear pages. I'll probably use that for some mixed media projects. And then being able to preserve my Gelli prints like this. I really thought this was great. And the photo, that laminated beautifully as well. I thought I'd mention that you can use a dry erase marker on these, and I tested it out afterwards, and it does work great. Don't forget to subscribe and leave this video a thumbs up. Also, there is an affiliate link for this laminator in my description. It will take you to Amazon, and I would get a little something from any purchases that you make through that link. And I do appreciate that, and I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was useful to you. And let me know what else you like to laminate. I was trying to think of all the things to laminate, and this is what I came up with. So I'd love to hear from you. And a big thank you to Qfun Laminator for entrusting me with this review and sending me this product to try out. And I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, happy crafting, y'all.